the best that it has had. And so I am not going to resign from that particular position. I think the Prime Minister has put the position correctly. I have been on record saying, and I will continue to say, that in the 36 years that we have been an independent nation, this has been the best relationship that St. Kitts and Nevis has had. Congratulations, sir, as a brilliant Prime Minister and steward of this country. And that is why I hold no water in my mouth when I say it is the best that it has ever been in the history of this country.
Has Nevis gotten the fair share at any time?
No.
What you think should be a fair share
No.
any time?
No. I have seen no program that has been rolled out federally that has not also benefited the people of Nevis.
Okay then, but then I could recall hearing you say that this is the best Nevis has been treated.
It is the best that it has had. And so I am not going to resign from that particular position. I have said it publicly time and time again. This has been the best. It is the best relationship that St. Kitts and Nevis has had. It is the best that it has had. If you used to get nothing and you're getting something now, it must be best.
No. I don't know.
No, what you mean? No. And I like to remind people, because one thing I've found, that memories can sometimes be a little short. So it's important to repeat. And that is why I hold no water in my mouth when I say it is the best that it has ever been in the history of this country.
And we like it. We like it. It is far better for the people of Nevis.
I wonder if I could clap harder. Special good evening to each and everybody who's tuning in. It's all about the topics with me, alongside my good friend Alan Powell. I want to say special thanks to the Real Entertainment Network for having us here, so we go talk the things them and lighting the fire. Oh shit, let me be careful about talking about fire, you hear? Let me be careful when I talk about fire, because it might be a drill or not. Anyways, I just want to say special good evening for everybody who tuning in, and just share the live, share the show. You know what I mean? It's all about the topics. Alan, how are you, man?
Good night, everybody. I'm well. I'm doing well. I could see you're doing well. You had a standing ovation just now, so you seem like you're doing very well.
Man, I'm having my best life right now. You know what I mean? Like, you know when you got when you're young and you got a brand new tie the day after Christmas. It's still all the Christmas done gone, but you still enjoy the tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wait till the Christmas will come again and see what's in store for me. And right now, me just go enjoy the tie.
I feel you. It's a long
Yeah,
wait
man.
until Christmas come again. There, Christmas
Exactly.
is only once
And right now, every minute me got the tie in my hand and me feel like a Christmas.
I feel you. But
Yeah,
I've been
man.
on wait too long, and I've been on talk about no tie too long neither. Cause we just had a video there.
Wow.
Um,
WOW.
the only dispute I have with the video is conspiracy. I think that the video should have just gone. You
God,
understand?
there's no conspiracy because we could see right through.
Well, not only that, you see, remember you're dealing with the premier, you're dealing with a legal mind and conspiracy. Cause really and truly is just before we come on here, I saw the video and I was like, whoa. We gonna play some clips a little later on because I also observed the same contradictions, I would say, from the premier over time. But that happens when, like, if your main tool is your mouth and you're gonna talk a lot, then over time, Jason for far long, but over time, there will be lapses. You understand? There will be. Jason, you already know?
Yeah, me can't see you.
Oh, I realize you're far long, but I just want to make sure you're alright. But as I was saying
You go
now,
to me?
over time, no, I cannot see you at this time.
Alright, I know what happened.
But uh, as I was saying now, like when you talk a lot, when you're promising a lot, I mean, as a politician in general, you the more you're in it, the more pressure you're gonna put on yourself in terms of having to deliver over time. And there will, because let me tell you something why I realized too, we are all a walking contradiction. And in life, you got to understand there are positive elements towards being a contradiction in terms of the fact that you might feel a certain way when you were younger and you're mature and you move on and you are able to make a different decision. That is not necessarily a weakness. The fact that you're able to change and you're able to deal with things maybe emotionally a little bit better. The times, and this is one of the things that we're gonna get into later. The times when it is not beneficial in terms of changing is when now you are in a position where you're making a commitment to somebody. I would say a commitment and not a promise. But when you come to a moment in time now where you're expressing your words as an intention of something that you wish to fulfill in the future, and anytime you don't fulfill it, it gonna cause a little kind of rift. No,
Yeah,
there are ways to overcome this thing, because really and truly, right? It's like this. Say I promise you 10 things and I give you 7 out of the 10. Out of the 10, I give you the major 7, and even out of the 7, I went above and beyond. You understand? So you might not get the
yeah,
10, but you see how much I work for you for the 7, and you see how beneficial. It nearly like you get 10. You know, in a them kind of ways there. So sometimes you got to compromise. But as me said, these are the things what could have a breakdown in a relationship. So it's not when now you kind of realize something and you become more mature and you're able to deal with something differently. But when now we was like, we're doing this thing, we're doing this thing together, and then all of a sudden we realize by now you was doing this thing for you. That's where I feel like breakdowns come.
Shift change, you know?
I realize. Um, with
Yeah,
regards to
man. That's
the
up.
yeah, with regards to the video, and as I said, to the contradictions, because that's what you're seeing in the video. No, that's one of the things what I notice. The other thing what I notice is like the time, in terms of he would have, because when you see in the clip you're seeing multiple occasions. It's not like one occasion when he's saying like team unity, this is the best. You understand? Is over time you're hearing this, and then 7 years into the relationship, now you're hearing, well, no. You understand? So that the in itself then now is another contradiction. That's a different contradiction, but that's another more. serious kind of thing there again, because part of the thing what Unity said they're gonna bring is like transparency. Well, part of the thing definitely the NIA said they're gonna bring is transparency.
Yep.
Whereas now you have a situation, as I'm telling you, this thing building up for 7 years, and you were telling us one thing, whereas now you come and you're telling us, yo, I not tell you that things was the best and it better than it used to be, and it's still the best, but we still could do better. You're not gonna better than best. That's it, huh? You don't care about yourself with this thing, and then you've been sitting on this thing over an extended period, and then you see, I see the confusion to it, because
Hey,
if you remember what going on, he feeling a kind of disrespect. If you understand now, for 5 years, you know.
but
Hey,
here,
Ira, play the video again. Play the video again. See what Jasmine said. Play the video again.
Master Control. Think you easy got a good old relationship. Now after you man go lie you. I think he
I,
easy got a
hey,
relationship after you man gone out of go lie you. Oh, he the best ever. He could cook. Well, look, you got buy a different woman. You can't cook.
but you see, that's that's the kind of thing to it. Because I thinking of it in relationship context, and I thinking, bye, if a game blows, you think it's 7 years later I coming out and saying, bye, this is not nice, you know, man.
Somebody
It
say in
is
the
the
comments
best
what?
that it
After
has.
best is great.
And so I am not going to resign from that particular position.
You know what's
Are
great?
you?
That
I think the
that
Prime
Are you?
that
Minister
we're still
has
Are you?
put
surviving
the
after
position
7 years.
correctly. I have been on record saying, and I will continue to say,
Yes, that
that in the 36 years that we have been an independent nation, this has been the best relationship that St. Kitts and Nevis has had. Congratulations, sir, as a brilliant Prime Minister and steward of this country. And that is why I hold no water in my mouth when I say it is the best that it has ever been in the history of this country.
Has Nevis gotten the fair share at any time?
No.
What you think should be a fair share
No.
at any time?
No. I have seen no program that has been rolled out federally that has not also benefited the people of Nevis.
Okay then, but then I could recall hearing you say that this is the best Nevis has been treated.
It is the best that it has had. And so I am not going to resign from that particular position. I have said it publicly time and time again. This has been the best. It is the best relationship that St. Kitts and Nevis has had. It is the best that it has had. If you used to get nothing and you're getting something now, it must be best.
No. I don't know.
Well, what do you mean? No. And I like to remind people, because one thing I've found, that memories can sometimes be a little short. So it's important to repeat, and that is why I hold no water in my mouth when I say it is the best that it has ever been in the history of this country.
And we like it. We like it. It is far better for the people of Nevis.
Teacher Percy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die. Teacher Percy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die. The thing about it, right? Hey, people in the comment section, right? Don't worry, feel like we're trying to drag people down or whatever, man. You know what I mean? Like the stats, the facts are there, and we just making it clear to you. This is what was said. You know what I mean? See, that it's evidently clear. You know what I mean? But I'm going back to the comments, you know. What? Um, somebody said after. I did mention somebody said after best is great. You check it out. Yeah, after best in great in what context? You know what I mean? You gotta put great as in like, yo, you survive 7 years and still not get nothing where you want. You know what I mean? You're doing great.
no, but
That's great.
also no, but also maybe they misunderstand the English language. No, if we want to deal with great, all we're gonna do is this. We're gonna deal with great, greater, and greatest. And we're done. That's in a
Yeah.
different category. They wanna have a different
Uh,
conversation. Are
uh,
you talking about good, better, best, and it done that? That's all.
yeah. We don't want to talk about great, talk about Vance. Yeah. When you want to talk
um,
about great, yeah.
but panel levels, yo, when he done, Vance might end up being the greatest for real. I'm telling you, he might end up being the greatest.
From me, I
At
hear about
least
Vance. And all I know, me still I hear about Vance. Parry come in the one shot and that's it.
when you think about the full context of the situation, create a party, like the second party in a nearest, create a dominant party in a nearest, end up pass off, and the party still a win. The only thing could make Vance greater, really and truly, is if CCM start to losing. No, I'm gonna tell you. Think about it. It's like when Jordan dep on the Bulls, and you see Bulls a win, and if Bulls been continue win championship with Pippen, them two retirement years there, you would say, yo, nah, Jordan been a win the championship them. But if
And
CCM
then good
start to
night.
lose, then no Vance really and truly. I'm telling you.
What
But
was
either
great
way,
about Vance other than the smile?
no. Okay, listen. Understand. I'm judging this thing from the perspective of success, political success. As I say, I'm talking about from the start. I'm talking about the man create a party. You understand? The man run against a man. You could tell me you know like Vance or whatever, but the man run against a man who was running unopposed and went up there and turned Gingerland. What you talking about? He got things to respect about Vance. There's always things to respect about Vance.
And
Because,
and
okay,
one major thing the public gonna respect Vance for. He's everybody cousin.
and I was gonna say this last week, but it was kind of jumbled up and all this kind of thing. Um, and later on, because we want to talk about the Charleston card, but we're gonna do that later. But
Wow.
one thing you will find, ladies and gentlemen, and understand me very clearly, with regards to all of the politicians, all of them, me I ain't leaving out any. This is a general statement. I will agree sometimes with them, and sometimes I'm gonna disagree with them. Um,
Exactly.
whether I agree or disagree, you better believe I will have a mathematical equation to tell you why the wrong, the incorrect. We could talk and talk and talk, and I could tell you what make the wrong. On a particular position, you will not hear at any moment in time an attack based on the person. You understand? As in like the home life, and that is not my jurisdiction. I ain't dealing with all of that. I talking
Exactly.
about I'm talking about um uh, persons who are in public life who go out there and get all of the praise of saying, I am a civil servant and I serve the public and way. And all I'm saying is like I'm looking at all of you and I say what I see. If I see a duck, what you supposed to feel like I'm gonna say? I'm pigeon and dove is a duck I see. So it's a duck I see. And that's always how we're gonna do, man. So
Yep.
there is not any kind of lick out. Um One of the failings actually in my estimation of NRP is a failure to Look at what is successful for CCM and do it. I don't see what is supposed to be so strange about that. And I'm talking about like in general being likable, you know what I'm saying? Um being more tight lipped, being a more professional organization, you know what I mean, in how they move in like the presence and them kind of thing that I don't feel like in your presentation, like always looking like somebody and all them. I don't see nothing wrong with doing that there. I don't see how you won't watch yourself as a respectable party. You understand? Enough you're talking about. And then you're gonna say, we just lose to them. How come I lose to them? People like them more, they're more popular. That's what make you lose. So you're telling me you got better plans and ideas, you got better execution, and you fail because you don't like people. You don't know how to talk to people and kind of thing. That's awful on their part. I don't see how me supposed to respect that there. And
True.
I just talk about that freely all the time. But I'm gonna also talk about the party in power as well. I have to. Are you in
We
power?
got no choice.
Yeah.
We got no choice,
Everybody,
brother.
if somebody want to run as an independent, some you could recall we would have spoken about some kings, and I dismissed that. I tell you, it ain't gonna be no real party. I gonna come back to me and tell me if something is true of that nature, but it ain't gonna be no real party. Whoever said they wanna deal with politics, we gonna got to evaluate them on a level.
Yep.
Um, you have any more thoughts on the video, or you would like to press on?
Man, the video speaks volume for itself, you know. So everybody who watching it, everybody who watched it already supposed to don't come to their own conclusion, right? All I could basically say, you know what I mean? A round of applause. Just give yourself a round of applause if you educate yourself watching the video. I'm just ready for the next video, yo. That's all. You know what I mean? If you want to pull the files, you know what I mean, just continue doing what you got to do. And if you're watching the show, people in the comments, share the show. It's very fundamental and across the board.
Not only share the show. If you're upset, you could give me the angry face. If you judge up, give me the wow. If I have to say something and you make your ball, just give me a reaction. It does help with the algorithm. More people can see the show and you know what I mean? More exposure and all these things.
Yeah,
The
that's
next
what
video,
we
the next video I would have really liked to deal with. I don't even know if we have the video, but if we don't have the video, I think um okay. Let me answer Shana.
Okay, answer.
Um, Shana, I feel like as I said and as I said before, when we okay, let me look at St. George's. You ain't trained. You are really, really not trained. And it's possible. Because I tell you, he had a man from NRB used to run unopposed. Right now it's very blue. All things are workable. They have not sent, in my estimation, from me a little boy. I can't recall nobody who went up there. Like serious.
But here the thing about it, Alan, you understand me? It's more than 700 people. It's more than 2,000 people live in Gingerland area. So only 700 people are really voting when you look at it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when you're
So
and this
and
vote,
where the rest numbers them gone?
this election look like it's gonna be a lot turnout to it. Lower even than others in the past, and that look like CCM gonna continue to win it. But
So
anyway,
so that. So then they do find the other people, the other 700 and more, what he vote.
Well, maybe they need to go to the voters list and clear it out a little bit, slim down on the number. Um,
Hmm.
from my knowledge of Gingerland, for real, right? You got a lot of people who don't vote, And I always argue, I don't tell you, like young people, eh, especially, could have more of a say in the country, but young people don't vote. I'm telling you, young people don't vote in the numbers. What if they really used to vote? Um, there would be more concern from politicians about interacting with young people on a serious level, rather than when the type of conversation where you see politicians go with young people is, don't worry about that drink there. I'm gonna get a drink there. Don't worry about that. When they're talking to other to older people, and not all the old people, when they're talking to old people who vote, is a respect there. But when they're talking to old people who do business, then you see that's why they have different cocktails, and you're talking business. You're talking about the country and all kind of thing. It's all the people.
Yeah.
It's people who invested in the country, and young people. If we, I don't know how we could get more invested in the country, but if we were voting more, I'm telling you, there would be more of a. You would see things going more towards young people if they only would vote. So when you watch the 700 people who you said vote in St. George's, it's possible because a lot of them ain't really listen. You got a lot of people who just feel like no matter what happened with the voting, I ain't sitting no up or down. It's not gonna change for me. So it ain't make no sense. That's a sad reality that is taking place in the country right now. Well, all the time. Because when you look at voter turnout, they ain't just ginger line. It's all over.
Yeah.
Master Control has the thing, no? Cause talking about the building that they're putting up over St. James's. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
Master
right?
Control should have it. Yeah, the
Yeah,
building, With the post, I think it captured with the post, right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, Taiwan has win again.
Yeah, karma. And okay, I'm glad you mentioned Taiwan has won again. And you see, that's what make we should have had the video to because there's a video and there was a question as to what is being built in the St. James's area. You understand? Nobody is telling us what is being built. And the reason I say this is good is because you see Taiwan and Sinkets, they like when you watch the park, Malcolm Gishard Park, they also would have put up like, we have done the park. So I guess this is a branch of the Taiwan
Mark Oi,
embassy or whatever.
Mark Oi, what this here going here in a St. James's? Mark Oi, what
At
what
the
what what
time
what, what,
when
what this here a going here in a St. James's? Huh? What the man them up there who build Malcolm Gishard Park? What them? These man like they don't get passport to vote to. These man have vote election there. I what good I see.
yeah, we might be with a voting party. Um, but as I say no, and the question was at the time, what is being built? Cause we don't even know. But it's now we're finding out from Taiwan, not from the premier. We're finding out from Taiwan that is what apartment complexes, low income houses or something like that. from a company registered in St. Kitts and Nevis and receive a contract to do the building over in a Nevis, and we don't know what is taking place. We don't know if a them pay for it, if a we pay for it. I don't even know if I have contractors and them what anything. That's the way me not think about it. No? Maybe not think about the local man them who I think would have well like to get a eat after that. If it's not a if there are no circumstances over there when it will require special equipment or anything, I don't see why a local man could not avail it. But if this is one of the things that we have to do to get the park, yeah, I understand. But I feel like we should know.
The crazy thing is, Alan, we you not see nothing, Tyler. If it wasn't for the video, we would have been lost. If it wasn't for the post, also, we would have wondered if that there think it's Nevis. But luckily, because of the video, yeah, so maybe we know it's Nevis. You get me? And next thing too, we not see it on the NIA page, we ain't seen it on the CCM page, we ain't see it on these people who now me take the credit page.
No official word.
So I
We get
wonder
that
if
from
it's a
Taiwan.
federal issue.
A federal issue?
Yeah, in terms of building, because maybe it could be
Yeah.
federal too, because you said the business registered in St. Kitts. That's what you said earlier.
Yeah.
So, well, exchange is no robbery.
But the reason why I get that is a local issue is because they say they receive the right to do that in Nevis. So I would
But
think like they done acquainted with the Nevis Island government and all them kind of things. So they will just if they get a contract to do it in Nevis, who you know own them land there? Who you know got
well,
things to do with them land there?
well, the thing about it is, right, Alan, you understand me? When the building open, you go see who went there for the key cutting ceremony, the ribbon cutting.
Mm-hmm. And let me deal with the voting part.
Yes.
Uh, as long as these individuals are not Commonwealth citizens or nationals, they will not be allowed to vote in this election or any upcoming election, as well as long as the laws of St. Christopher and Nevis stay the same. But as long as you are not from a Commonwealth country or this country, and I had to go check to see if Taiwan is one and Taiwan is not a Commonwealth country, they will not be allowed to vote. So if Taiwanese are in, no, I do not think that is one of the things that are going to happen based upon what I
Wow.
have read. Unless the law gonna
Wow.
change.
Um, I read in a comment here from Lionel Starboy Prentice. Nivision seems to have no problem being left in the dark. Are there no independent news agency in Nevis to ask government the tough questions? The thing about it is, Lionel, when these these private agencies come to ask the tough questions, we tend to mimic and make mock of the person when the person them asking a hard question, which when you present a front and make somebody a clown, you check it out. Like for instance, I could call Bijan name, right? Bijan Hanley. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So me time the man don't ask some tough questions, right? But what be happen? I'll be immaturity don't get ahead of us some the time, so I'll be just look at it as a laughing thing, and it's only when reality sinking, boy, the man really asks a good question, you know?
Yeah, boy, but beyond good question, then the space out, boy. Cause sometimes I know, right? When beyond asks the question, me just have your man. Cause me is like, but lad, man, beyond the man don't answer that one, there, man. Maybe he wasn't satisfied with the answer. He don't answer that one. There. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I just say, sometimes I got the good question. Let me answer Shannon again. She asked what St. George is voting for. Um, okay, well, Here the kind of thing, right? Because I realize the premier do this too, eh? Because the premier from Hanley's Road and Brown Hill. 'Cause I've been supposed to ask you this, you know. So when you pick, cause it look like you go pick where you're from. So when you pick where you're from, where you do like you go pick which part your mother been live and which part your father been live, and you're from them two places there. So means like a country tongue man, a tongue country man. What is story be? How this thing work?
You rooted from both places.
Okay, okay. So means a tongue country man then. But you see, I am not gonna speak for Gingerland in terms of I don't live up there. But what I got to vote for in St. George's is the development of St. George's in the way that the people who live up there want to see. So if I
Ev-
want,
ev-
if for example if I want more activity, in my opinion, more close to the school, especially, I would push for development of the playing area there above the school. They said they're gonna pull lights and thing. Which part they also had ginger arm a long time?
yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
and the thing about it, right? Hear this. If the gas station up at Ginger was just built up there, right? Yeah, so if that been built during the election year, there would have been promise to, you know.
As you talk about the gas station, I've been see upon Delville, and he had complained about the gas station and the ATM up there. And he said, why, what is the the gas station? So I was like, what kind of talk to me? You just come, as I said, the same thing. Me never use the gas station, not the ATM. But you live up there. So what you think going on? And the man said, where you want gas station for? And it close 7 o'clock in the night. How that gonna make sense? Meaning that you got people a country where well, who do want a gas station 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock overlook them gas because them man got them move over make. But you close 7 o'clock in the night, and then he tell me about the ATM machine now. He said the ATM machine like it's like 50-50 you go there and you make money in there. So I would like Bank of Nevis to know I need to do better with our ATM machine. And for the gas station, I need to work on the hours. I need to maybe get another employee or something. Listen, I hate to tell people how to run the business. 'Cause I mean, like, people tell me nothing about my business. But I'm talking about the people saying they're willing to support the team more, but they would like some more hours. You know what I'm saying? It's just for consideration.
Of course.
And back to
Good night,
and back to
Tanya.
I'm back to
Good
Chanel.
night, Tanya.
I would
Share
say
the show.
I'm back to Chanel. I would say um certain places in a ginger are necessary for sure. I like how everywhere I get road. Yeah, I need some roads up there. I drive went to Stony Hill the other day. That road is sexy. I wish the rest of Raleigh would been like that day, for example. But I got to vote for and talk to the people about how I want Gingerland develop in a
And
better,
stop photo
you know.
chicken and chips and case of beer.
I think the man should try to get a little better access down to Ball Pasha too.
And stop photo hot bread and butter.
The federal minister for Nevis. I don't know. Your auntie asks. I wonder who she mean.
I guess you
I
mean the
don't know
premier.
who.
Isn't he the federal minister for Nevis? Well, we got two federal ministers, right? So which one you mean?
That's what I'm saying. Um,
But you want to read out something there, no?
what that?
When me see your poll book, you know what I mean? Look like you got a lot to read about it. Or you just write number one, number two, after you just go down the line, you know?
Mm, I got to, I got to sort out myself. Yeah, we going to the Johnson card now.
Yes.
And I
It's
want to
about
believe
time,
this
man.
gonna be. I want to believe this gonna be the bulk of what we're gonna be dealing with.
Yeah.
And we're
Let's
going
go.
to the Chancellor card because, for example, Jason, have you ever read the Chancellor card? You know what is in the Chancellor card? Or you just hear
No.
about the Chancellor card all the time?
We just don't hear about it. I never took time
Okay,
out to, and it's a fault of mine. I should have done that.
no problem. And what happened is right now, particularly in light of what is going on, you know, and everybody talking about Navy's fair share, the Charleston card is what really deal with Navy's and the fair share aspect. So I feel like it is important that the people and them know what is in the Charleston card. You understand? Um, that's not the document we need at this moment in time, Master Control. Um, and let me give some credit also for this article. This article came from SKN Vibes, and this is an article from yeah, Tanya, I'm going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is an article from SKN Vibes from 2014. Master Control is going to start to putting it up on the page. I do not want to read all of the thing to drag it down, but I'm going to read from this part here. Well, I'm going to contextualize it. Um, the
Prefer that.
Chancellor card was said to it was created to address inequalities and disrespect, an atmosphere of acrimony and divisiveness. Okay, so basically, the federal government and the NIA were not getting on. No, we got to understand that this is at a moment in time when Denzel Douglas is the prime minister, Van Samry is the premier. And this is the context in which we have this situation. Now, the first thing Mr. Brantley said was that Team Unity believes that people of Sinkis and Neves deserve a federal government. Wait, the first before I deal with this, right? Before I deal with this.
Yeah.
The it's supposed to be A to C. No, A to H, as far as this would have been referred to as the preamble of this document, right? Now, Mr. Brantley could have taken this thing here. And I know he's talented. He could have taken this thing here and he could have put this thing in like A to C. Because A is they will end victimization. B is they're gonna fight for all kitchens and division. C is that they're gonna put the people of Singis and Nevis first. That's one thing on the Jason. But like when you kind of trying to make it seem like this is this amazing thing, you're gonna put it like we're gonna fight for the Sinkits and Nevis. We're gonna no, you could have put like we're gonna end victimization. We and I would say di- um discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna deal with discrimination because that's what you're really talking about. When he talk about they will restore law and order and supremacy of the rule of law, you know, really got to talk about then down in a CH where you're gonna say restore adherence to the constitution. Because if you're gonna be dealing with the rule of law, you're gonna dealing with the constitution same way. One can't you can't be adhering to the rule of law and restoring law and order and then tell me, well, we're gonna be dealing with the constitution. That's just one thing. All of that to say is the preamble and preambles in general, they are not They are not the meat of the document. So the preamble is really talking about the intentions. You understand? This is the preamble is setting the context. So
Yes.
basically, they don't want any more victimization and discrimination against the people. They committed to law and order, and they want
Uh-huh.
respect between the NIA and the federal government. That's it.
Yeah.
With regards to the actual agreement, the first part of the Charleston Accord is impossible. Nevis will receive a fair and equitable share of natural resources based on a pro rata population basis to ensure that Nevisians too will benefit fairly from the returns of national investments of natural resources. So I'll be able to counterpart the donkey and them in the federation and send something and sink it or make
So,
sure sink it
well, I
got
guess
them
he got
fair
enough
share
done
them
harass,
too.
right? I guess he got enough done harass, isn't it?
What are we going to do? Are we going to work out well based on the population basis? Singit people get to use the hot bath 5 out of 7 nights. You understand? They get first preference than a hot bath because based on the national thing, the natural resources got to be no that
Well,
part they could have
KFC,
never work. What
KFC done naturally in part of, you know.
so that one there, no, that can't help.
Watch out.
Um,
If they want to come up with a next idea, hear this. You understand me? The boat figure up. Yeah, some of the boat ticket them come up with the itinerary so we go get cheaper KFC.
okay. 2 and 3,
Yeah.
2 and 3 I could kind of work with, but we gonna deal with them later too. 2 and 3 is discussing revenue that is gained from the CBI and the SIDF should be split between the federal government and the NIA and the same pro rata population basis. I could
That
understand that. I
that
with
nah
the
happen.
part there. You understand? And this is what I tell you. I can't be against the premier with everything. The part there, good. But I'm gonna show you how that part there is kind of cartoon too. But later. The Nevis Island administration will get title to nominate representatives to the SIDF board or any successor of the agency. Love that. You can't tell me that that is wrong. I with the part there. Um, I want what Tanya been said 7 and 15.
Yeah.
Anyway, the appointment of ambassadors and so they said they want what to represent the people of New will only be undertaken after consultation with the premier. So before you appoint an ambassador, you got to talk to the premier. That one there, I like it. No, I like it. I like it. The only kind of thing where I feel like ticklish is that he got certain things in the Chancellor Accord which is telling the prime minister what he got to do, and that is problematic. Because I don't feel like you could create a document that is going to be able to tell the prime minister what he need to be doing, especially if that document is not the constitution.
True.
Um, I had skip over one, so let me go back to it. It said projects approved by the NIA for the CBI program will be sanctioned approved by the federal government without delay.
Huh.
Um, that one there again, as I tell you, that one they seem like a problem because well, I don't know how the NIA don't got to be flawless with that in terms of you're telling me you're going to the federal government and just tell them you approve this project and no delay? Not at all. So the NIA, I mean, if the due diligence was up to par, I could understand. But that is still, as I say, you're telling the federal government, don't even question me. I come to you and I tell you that this thing has been approved or sanctioned and approved, no delay.
So
No number.
so
Go
so
ahead.
so no the so the hospital is a federal or local.
No, here what going on. This is a projects approved by the NIA for CBI. So what this is talking about now, I don't know if you know down by Mangoes.
Yeah,
Mikey got some land down there. They were supposed to build like some villas and condos and them kind of thing like,
yeah.
for CBI. That's what they're talking about. So you ain't gonna
Okay,
find general projects. You got to
okay.
tie back into citizenship by
I
investment.
just I just I just realized I just realized what was said. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Yeah, I kind of just realized through your talking me my months
Mhm.
more on the funds than rather than what was said in particular.
Okay. This next one say all grant funds, including but not limited to those from the European Union, will be shared equitably with the NIA. So anytime they're saying basically anytime the federal government get a grant, then the NIA expect to get the cut. You understand? 'Cause I remember that was one of the thing. This is what like everything tie back into like basically what was campaigned upon, in
Yeah.
terms of remember they used to say like Navis only get loan money from the federal government. They ain't get grant money, cause grant money you don't have to give back that.
So Alan, my question is right. The CBI program is it attached to foreign affairs?
I think that the CBI program is finance
Or
Ministry
it
of
attached to
Finance.
finance? So foreign affairs only
I have
engage.
to, yeah, I have to believe so too because then I, I, I heard the premier say that he was shocked to hear the amount that was brought in from the CBA program. So if it was foreign affairs, I think he would have done had an idea from the start. Oh, well, then again, he don't got an idea all the time because he does down there doing the budget, so he don't know exactly what the CBA program figure
But
is
he's
all
supposed
the
to know
time.
what was presented to the table then.
At our moments in time.
And wait till now, wait till now, we repent.
So wait, see Tanya asked a question. She asked if one of Dion projects is a CBI project. Um, I think the Hamilton, if that's one of Dion project, that I think that's a CBI project. And she said, and if so, why did he have so much problems with the NIA and the same NIA? Well, I guess maybe this is the problem what them are trying to fix. Because she said, why did he have so much problems from the NIA? And they're saying that the federal government must approve quickly. So maybe what the NIA is saying is we don't approve this thing, and you ain't the federal government ain't doing their part. So maybe they want to get these things because
Well,
at,
well, by right.
at one moment in time, I drive around to see all of the projects them, all was supposed to be done, and you could see a lot of them, especially in Hillside.
But remember at the end of the day when everybody were talking about projects. The premier put up a post. And remember everything got to pass through he,
Mm-hmm.
So I
Well,
could start the talk about project this and project that. Everything got passed through he. So that mean I hear the keep back then. He put himself in that spot there, So he can't
mm-hmm.
tell me, he can't come tell me nothing about a federal holdback. We say everything I pass through he.
Yeah, well, he's the small boss. He finding out that there's a bigger boss.
you think it easy when you feel like you're a big fish, you're only for you not know you're on 2.99 and can? Yeah, see, that they must be hurting $3 for you.
Okay, this one here is a big one. This next one here is a
Yeah.
big one. Um, to address the historical unfairness and the bias of the federal government in distributing the resources of the SIDF, Team Unity will provide a lump sum payment to the NIA as a goodwill and acknowledgement that an injustice was done to the NIA. It represents an injustice to all the people of Nevis. No,
Mm-hmm.
I want to deal with that one specifically.
Yes.
First of all, I love that day because this is legal mind, Premier Brantley. This is Premier Brantley realizing that there was damages done, or damage was done, and then therefore we need redress. And the form of redress what we need is compensation. Because if you damage me, you owe me something, and so
Of
that
course.
makes sense. No,
It's called damage
here,
control.
yeah, no, here, no. Well, I love that, and as I tell you, I love everything about this. But here they done part of this. Here they done such part of this, and Premier Bradley not this good. When you're asking for damages, you can put a number. So it's good and well for you, me. Jason support me tell you, boy, you disrespect me, boy. And you know you're doing it for this month. You owe me a lump sum of money for all of them years there. Ain't supposed to got a figure
Yeah.
to
Cause
represent the
the prime
disrespect.
minister the prime minister could tell you hands off for the hurricane damage, 80 million US.
He could tell you anything gonna represent the amount of money for the disrespect and so unless you really put it inside of a paper to say, well, this
Well,
is
I
what
hope he put
represent the
in
damages that Nevis has faced from since 1980. Because listen, as I tell you, this is legal mind. He got to put in. This got to be like you're watching this thing and you say from 1983 until now, Nevis has been
so,
damaged. And you hear the Prime Minister Tim say, we ain't used to get nothing. Nothing.
so
So if we
emotional
getting
emo-
damages there for 32 years, give me a figure.
so emotional distress involved too.
All of that.
So that mean me supposed to get something too.
No. You would filter
Because
that down to you.
me part of Navy, so no, me no part of no building. Me a part of the
No,
distress.
you're going to the road and them. Going to the road and them. What you talking about?
That mean we should get drop off or something like maybe a 10% cut on the current bill, 10% some off or something, you know what I mean? Like for me.
Well, listen. I had listened to the premier response to the yeah. It was the premier response to Timothy response to what the premier said first.
I,
You
I
understand?
think we have the clip. I think we have a clip.
No. That's a different thing. Uh, That's a
That's
different
still
thing.
different.
Yeah, I want to believe it's still different. Though.
But I would like to. I would like
Um,
to. I would like to hear the clip still.
no, yeah, definitely they're supposed to come in.
Master
Um,
Control, run that clip, then please. Let me hear what the boss have to say. The people
no,
hear
not
what
yet,
going
not
on.
yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I tell you, no. I want to get you this year, and then we going into the clip. Um, we only got a couple more. Financial support will be provided to the NIA. Oh yeah, DJ Jason, this is a big one too. You're gonna love this one. Listen to this. Financial
Yes.
support will be provided to the NIA for the financialization of the geothermal project in Nevis.
Wow. Wow. Watch out.
Did
Hearing
you,
that
did you
alone.
know that? Did you know that was in the Charles cards?
Nope. But
I
hearing that
tell you.
alone.
show me that the whole script is a fraud. So
Oh, is it
imagine
so?
imagine you gonna give me a good story. Then after you're gonna
Mm,
fastly put in something when you know ain't gonna happen. It defeat the whole purpose of the story.
nobody man
You
really
know what I mean?
believe.
Like, don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. I want you to finish. Right? But hear me out. Imagine you come in there and tell a lie within your story. You understand me? You're guilty as charged. You're going to
No, but
jail.
you see, this come back into the bigger thing. What I want to talk
Yeah.
about later too. But we have to remember what is taking place. Right now, currently, we have the leaders of St. Christopher and Nevis who start shit with the Prime Minister over a promise, Jason. Big man we're talking about who ain't realized for instance them a little boy I talking about when you're in a primary school and you are asked somebody who this thing or Christmas as you talk about Christmas and you ain't get you might get something else for Christmas and you will still happy. But you supposed to don't realize a long time promise? What is a promise a comfort to? Who does
I
feel
promise is a, co-
comfortable when you promise them?
I promise is a comfort to Mark. Me not say fool no more. Fool too good.
You check. And we know that the man know these parables and these anecdotes and all of these things. He used them when they are convenient for him. But
Hey, Nevis
I
people only
really.
good who Nevis people.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? When the time I go down sink it, yeah, some they can't keep up. Nevis people only good who Nevis people. Oh
Okay.
yeah, you gonna know about all my story. Then me back do all the roach in my house, me cockroach in my house, and the rat in the roof, and the rat bat in the roof. Go down and sink it. You can't say the same thing.
Okay, let me try skate through these real quick. So you said number 10 is that divisions will be assured of equitable participation and representation in the Federation's overseas embassies and missions. Yeah. All boards and
Mm-hmm.
nationally owned institutions will include persons designated by the Nevis Island Administration. That there is a problem again.
Hmm.
Um, Never again will political activists on the National Bank Board or any other national board attempt to bully or embarrass the NIA.
Huh?
Okay. Okay, I don't know what. Okay, all right. Never
Huh?
again will the checks of the NIA government be dishonored so long as there are available funds and liquidity in the national treasury. I'll wait that one day. I support that. But the NIA still need their own money, but I support that. Full responsibility for the maintenance of the safety and security of the island of Nevis. That would suggest that the Minister of National Security has not been doing their job with regards to Nevis. But then again,
Yeah.
as I tell you, when you look at Nevis, I don't know, you ever see any Coast Guard based in a Nevis?
Somebody go hold drone.
Oh, when the defense force come over, we know they come over and we know that they're over for their time doing their thing, but I don't know that they are over here all the time. It's only police we got. It's only police we have. But anyway, moving on. The members of
Yeah.
CCM, members of PAM, and the members of PLB will be engaged in the governance process of the federation level to ensure governance model based on consultation rather than confrontation, harmony rather than disharmony, love and respect for all rather than vilification and strife. He went go do the speech where he do and put his saying of this yeah? Me not even read down to this far. This he said harmony. This is harmony what we're going to right now.
Well, you harmonize on the mic. You gotta use a mic to harmonize, you know? And he was harmonizing on the mic.
Anyway, let me try to get to the the next will be it shall be the next wait well it shall as the next federal government pursue meaningful constitution reform, including but not limited to reforms geared at improving the relationship between Sinkits and Nevis and ensuring greater certainty about the matters of the role of the Governor General, the tabling of motions of no confidence in the National Parliament, the role of the Speaker of the National Parliament, and the need at all times to have a Deputy Speaker in the National Parliament. Um, this is a mistake by the Premier. Now, I'm not saying that these are not important issues, but he would have complained, for example, about he in the biggest constituency. I think it's only one constituency in sync is bigger than saying Nevis number nine. Me not see nothing in about boundary changes.
Hmm.
I'm not see nothing in here because you see my thing what I thought Mark was gonna do right. I thought the real shot was just to get more power for Nevis constitutionally. So that shit is written in there. So I thought that was the shot. So I like at that, for example. That's what Mike always says. I mean, I'm not saying that these points are not important points. Speaker and emotional no confidence and all these things. I talking about I don't see the Nevis angle in that part. And
Oh,
I talking about the
uh,
direct Nevis angle to get
you,
Nevis
you ain't gonna see
voters.
the Nevis angle no more because the people matter more slogan done with him.
Okay. And the last one is that the fiscal policies between the federal government and the Nevis Island government will, wherever possible, be discussed and harmonized so as to ensure the two islands progress jointly and in economic harmony. And I can't disagree with nothing in that statement. That's a fine statement. And the accord was signed by Vance Hamry, Sean Richards, Timothy Harris, Alexis Jeffers, and John L. Powell, but they only signed as witnesses. One more thing I wanted to say about the Charleston Accord. There is a clause that says will respect the Nevis Island government and cooperate with the Nevis Island government, whatever its political composition. Now, the problem that I have with that statement, and one of the big problems with the Charleston Accord, a brilliant man once told me that at least from a federal government level, right, Nevis need to approach the thing like we only got one party. So if the Charleston Accord had been signed in some way endorsed by NRP as a Nivision document, because the Charleston Accords really and truly is trying to secure more rights and benefits for the people of Nevis, more respect for the people of Nevis, then I would think that the leader of NRP would have signed. And I saying that too because if NRP, and I think that NRP did a similar document with Labour, but CCM would not be like, well, so you're saying that you won't secure respect for us? I don't think that that's how it goes with regards to that type of situation. I feel like the Chancellor called part of the bad start is that it should have been a document, as I said, dealing with neighbors. We really should have been securing rights for neighbors, but is one party speaking unilaterally about the rights we secure for neighbors. I don't know that. Um. Oh yeah, and this is the second part of the Chancellor Cards. Chancellor Cards is not a legal document, so it's not a document what is like you could hold people to, and this is the even bigger error by the premier in terms of this. Okay, and let me say that part of us. Think it's politicians being disingenuous. And I agree with the premier with regards to this. They're being disingenuous about the Chancellor card in terms of they want to be technical. You understand? They want to know bring in this and that. Um the error what the premier make is he should always know that they're gonna be technical. And he should always understand that this thing is gonna be legal. So anything what he write down in the Chancellor cards and he wanted to go wait, he should have then end up and say, listen, we're gonna amend the constitution to put this in there. Or we're gonna create an act. Or we're gonna amend an existing act. We're gonna amend every act. We talk about a government board. We're gonna say that before I put somebody on the board, I have to consult the premier neighbors. You understand? We ain't gonna say that this is how we gonna go because that what gonna happen. No, you got this document what only you saying to nobody from NRP saying, nobody from Labour saying, but this is gonna be the document we're gonna be holding up. Think it's a Nevis for the rest of time. The Charlestown Accords, this document that I put together that is so brilliant. It can't work so. This would have been a good step. It could have been a foundation as far as saying, okay, this is we intention right here. So. You understand? But then we're gonna go build upon this and we're gonna have to put this in the kind of ink. When we got parliament for real, let we go down there and be dealing with these issues. And there are moments in time, but even not all good, that the premier had little leverage and he could have tried to press these things. But he's only now he coming out and being like he wanna do this and it just rough. Um, well, something want to say about the concept. Oh, Lord. Okay, okay, okay. Before I play the clips, let me get my constitution. Give me a second, there, Jason. Guy haven't talked about. I need to get think it's on his constitution.
Just catch
Get
yourself, my
somebody.
boy. You know what I mean? I just watching the rallying at the time and the disputes between the administration and the government.
Okay, because I wanna. It got okay. One of the big contradictions what the premier make, what he not realize what he went to, is remember as I tell you in the preamble to the Chancellor cards, they said that they want to bring in a government that is going to adhere and restore adherence to the Constitution. You cannot then produce a document and say that that document they're gonna override the Constitution. So you can't come in and tell me, well, the Constitution is the supreme law, this and that. We're gonna uphold the Constitution. What about the Charter cards? You see the problem, Jason?
Yep. I see
And
where you're
that
going with
and
this.
that's why he needed to take the Chancellor card and, as I said, use it as a foundation, but then move forward with it and make it into actual law. Because then now, you see how you gonna the premier full of shit with regards to this particular issue. And if anybody need to know if the Chancellor card is real law, you understand and you hear the premier say, I have won this and that historical case and way this and way that. If this was anything close to a case, I don't think he would have done carry you to court. How much power and influence you think the premier would have gathered as a result of taking the prime minister to court and winning this case rather than going down there go bang him out? When we know that he ain't gonna bang him out if he know he got a case. The chance on a card is nice writing. And because a lot of people went and it was an event and it was celebrated and it was thought that it would bring about real change for promises, a big man, watch other big man and feel like by they promise he something and he walk out by, oh come on, give me what? Like for real. This is what we're dealing with. And as I'm saying, it should have been the foundation, it could have been the start for us to go in and make a laugh. But that's not what happened. So it contradict itself, as I said, in terms of you can't say we're gonna be following the constitution, but then say, well, what about this document? That is not the constitution. And part of the document say you're gonna amend the constitution, then you could have done that. If really and truly he had done the things he said he would have done, there would not been a lot of issues. He would not have been necessarily having to ask the prime minister for anything at this particular moment in time. Okay. One of the things that's an issue that the premier brought up. And you know what happened? Play the clip. I wonder if you find the clip.
Everybody now remembers that the Constitution talks about an 80-20 split. That's what they say. 80-20. And people are now talking about what the Constitution says. You know, that's interesting. Because we all knew what the Constitution said when the Charleston Accord was signed. And the Constitution speaks to tax revenue. The Charleston Accord specifically speaks to CBI inflows. That was what the Charleston Accord spoke to. So all of a sudden now you have some who want to graft the Constitution onto that to say some of the Charleston Accord is not important. Let us focus on the Constitution, because they feel that under the Constitution, oh, you got to take out for national security, you got to take out for this, you got to take out for that before Nevis gets a share.
Okay. So the premier trying to make a distinction, and he said that I guess he wanna say CBI is not in the Constitution, but Section 69 is deal with finance, the consolidated fund. All revenue or other monies raised or received by the government, not being revenues or other money that are payable by or any under law into some other fund, shall be paid into the consolidated fund. All
Yeah.
revenue. You understand? Really,
Yeah.
and you go understand too, like how the government do deal with the laws and so is wide. So they're not gonna put in revenue and say, well, by there are things, technology that is coming, that if the government make money from that, you're gonna just slide into the revenue thing. Never mind that it's not something that we know about at this particular moment in time. You're gonna
Yeah.
slide in there. And the other part, which is section 110, which is dealing with the NIA, is the revenue allocation. And when I read this, I only gonna read subsection 1
Yeah.
at this moment in time. But it already says subject to subsection 2. The procedure of all the taxes collected in St. Christopher and Nevis under any law shall be shared between the government and the administration, and the share of each shall be determined by reference of the proportion between the population of the island of St. Christopher and the population of St. Christopher and Nevis as a whole, as the case may be. the population of Nevis, wherever, wherever, wherever. But what may I say based upon that, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
already in the constitution saying that the money is supposed to be split on a population basis, you know? So why we arguing when if this is like real, why we don't just do this? And the next part, section 112. Disputes between the administration and the government. And in the constitution, when you hear the administration, they're talking about the Navy Island administration. The
Yes,
government is referred to as the federal government. And you just hear me ask all the time, why the NIA don't sue the government any of the times? And this is telling you, if there is a dispute, the High Court shall have the exclusive and original jurisdiction. So I just feel like the Premier, if there is anything real here, because he's saying like if this is only about power for Tim, but if this is not about power for the Premier, why we have not sued the federal government yet for what is our money? You understand me,
of
Jesse?
course. Yep.
In a seem like we're supposed to be doing as much talking as we're doing if this is not just a show that is going on to distract me from other things that I really supposed to have my mind upon.
I want run the
Oh
videos
yeah.
them, you know.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead with the next one.
They will leave them off quick and sharp because we done a clock in.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it right now. Do the next one.
When we in Nevis said to the electorate, give us an opportunity to join with the People's Labour Party and to join with the People's Action Movement in this historic idea called unity, because that's what it was. It was an idea that we asked the people to invest in. We are seeing tangible progress in our country, a coming together like we have never seen in the affairs of St. Kitts and Nevis. Because for too long the people of Nevis have said that we have been left out, and we see projects and development happening in St. Kitts and nothing on Nevis said to the electorate. Give us an opportunity to join with the People's Labour Party and to join with the People's Action Movement in this historic idea called unity, because that's what it was. It was an idea that we asked the people to invest in. We are seeing tangible progress in our country, a coming together like we have never seen in the affairs of St. Kitts and Nevis. Because for too long the people of Nevis have said that we have been left out, and we see projects and development happening in St. Kitts and nothing on Nevis, when those projects and development were being funded by what we thought was money that should properly be shared. And so when we say fair share for all, we mean each and every citizen in this country must have a fair access to the resources of the country. And I'm proud to say that with unity, we are well on the way to achieving that.
Well on the way. Well on the way. What has gone wrong?
DF that has now been made available to Nevis, and the federal government under the caring leadership of Dr. Timothy Harris has done. I say that in less than 2 years, the people of Nevis have been the direct beneficiaries of some $113.36 million. I don't know $100 million look. I never see it yet.
Imagine that. Caring leadership of Timothy Harris. But what has gone wrong?
Yeah, so those two pieces of audio and bigger patches, cause he find them I only was listening to here and I heard them. But is the same thing is the same thing as the video we start off with in terms of the contradiction.
Yeah.
You hear him describe the prime minister as a caring leader. You hear how we don't get what over $113 million in less than 2 years. You hear how much the premier said that we were short from last year in terms of CBI money when Navy should have get.
No.
He said we get 45 and we should have get 150.
Mm.
Yeah. Because what happened is Tim Sevans used to get 30 and he met with Mark and through the meeting with Mark he carried it up to 45. But Mark's argument is that the population we got basically 30%. You understand? So he had 500, he says 580 something $1 million coming in off of CBI. We supposed to get 150 off of it. He take out about 60 million for expenses and he said we supposed to get a 150.
I want to hear the next clip with Mark Brantley talking when he responds on his show to Timothy Harris.
But I mean I think I got one there.
Though I
I
send it to him, man. I've been sending it to him when he went on the radio.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think I had sent it to him. Master Control, let me know if I be sending it to him. Me feel like me send it to him.
You
Yeah.
know you feel like
I can't even go back and check, but make sure. I show me send it to him.
and also you hear the contradiction too because he will say you don't get 113 million in less than 2 years. But then he said we only don't get 45 a year. You see which part 23 million guy missing there so.
Yeah. Honest
Yeah.
mistake.
It happens. But I can tell you like overall if it's facts that we're missing because I don't do the calculation in the Jason.
Well, I guess an
'Cause
expense to come over. It is expense to come over Nevis too. Everything got an expense.
if you're telling me Nevis has been shot by about $500 million from the federal government, right? Then I feel disrespected by SK. And I like, but then I still got to come back to the same thing again, Jason. In terms of these man let this thing happen for 7 years before they start to be like, bye. No man. But if 50 million would have hurt me, Jason. Watch out. 100,000 would hurt
520.
me. If SK fuck me by 100,000, I don't feel bad. You're telling me $500 million you let this thing ring up to? And then you best bet to go down there to go rectify the situation is to go get strength from Shan? Not to get
And you
strength
get
from
all
yourself,
three.
who go get strength from Shan?
And you get all three.
Yo. Nah, ain't a good look. Ain't a good look. But based upon master
520.
control, I don't think you sent in that clip, so. So if you would like to wrap it up
I
for
guess
this
it's the wrong
evening,
chat.
yeah, maybe. So if you would like to wrap it up for this evening, I think we
Okay.
still talk to people.
Yeah, man. It's manners and respect for having you guys here. And I mean, as we go through our virtual and at the same time still, we want to be across the board and don't want to be one-sided. We're just saying it how it is, you know what I mean? Both left wing and the right wing. Go check it out
Listen,
because
yeah.
Because whatever we say, you know what I mean, is for the best for the people too. And you know what I mean, we want you guys to open up our third eye as well. You check? So I just want to say you guys have a good night. It was great, and I am open for your constructive criticism. You know what I mean? Until we meet again, we're gonna keep the topics. Yeah.
Yeah, we like actual democracy. So I mean, as I tell her, I go talk shit. I go say I'm full of hope. Just make sure you're talking, give me a little reaction or something, but later you can check it out. But later,
That it will
we
help us
might, we
also,
might.
just so we helps you. If we helping you, help us
Mm-hmm.
back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this was the topics. It was real.
With myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. Gotta